Meteorology subject, lesson number 24. Today's topic is secondary data under the concept of data collection methods. I am your teacher, Dr. K. V. Somnath, GS College of Commerce, Wardha, Maharashtra. Let us first go for the introduction. The data collected from a source that has already been published in any form or unpublished is called as secondary data. The review of literature in any research is based on secondary data. It is collected by someone else for some other purpose, but being utilized by the investigator for another purpose. For example, census data being used to analyze the impact of education on career choice and earning. Common sources of secondary data for social science include census, organizational records, and data collected through qualitative methodologies research. Secondary data is essential since it is impossible to conduct a new survey that can adequately capture past change and the developments. Most of the researchers at the time of framing the research problem itself or formulation of the research problem itself, they will go for undertaking the review of literature. So the review of literature is nothing but a source for the secondary data collection, and it is a action and act of secondary data collection. So we have two categories of secondary data. One is the published sources and the second one is the unpublished sources. Let us go for the published sources first. The secondary data is usually gathered from the published or printed sources. A few major sources of published information are as follows: the published articles of local bodies and central and state governments, the statistical synopsises, census records, and other reports issued by the different departments of the government, official statements and publications of the foreign governments, publications and reports of chambers of commerce, financial institutions, trade associations, magazines, journals and periodicals, publications of government organizations like Central Statistical Organization CSO, National Sample Survey Organization NSSO, reports presented by research scholars and bureaus and economies, and so on and so forth. Today, most of the students, even teachers and the researchers and so many organizations mostly using the internet, which is a main source of today's the data collection, and most of the time the data collected from the internet sources or World Wide Web is called the secondary data only, because it is already being published either in printed form or in other audiovisual form, or even sometimes in audio form also we can obtain the data from the internet. Now we will go for a few observations of the secondary data, that is published sources. The following are some of the ways of collecting secondary data: records, biographies, newspapers, books, published censuses or other statistical data, data archives, internet articles, research articles by other researchers like journals, databases, etc. So if you go for the internet, you will have so many things. For example, you want a particular book which is being published by some other university in the world far beyond about 100 years back or 50 years back, but that monograph is available to you even today. So the biographies of the great personalities, from which you can take some inputs on particular doing a research. For example, somebody is doing a research in political science. He wants to know about a great political stalwart of an American or a Russian or Indian origin, and he wants to say something about his caricature as far as the politics at the time is concerned. Then he will go for the verification of the biography, and the biographies generally will be giving you so much update about that personality, and that will be a secondary data. Newspapers. Sometimes we may not be getting the newspaper of a particular time, but the grand old newspapers are also available on the internet away from 100 years back or 50 years back or 60 years back. So from that also we can get the data. That's right. Books also, either in libraries or in symposiums or in some other areas, we can get the books. The published censuses or other statistical data by the Government of India or World Health Organization or some other international body, the statistical data is being gathered. The data archives, big organizations maintain their data on their websites, and through the websites we can get the data of a particular period. The different internet articles, now internet is the now the virtual reality now. So in the internet articles we can get any article of any author, publish it at any place of the point in the world, and that may become a secondary data. Next, research articles by other researchers in journals and magazines. Right? Then the databases maintained by the government or published non-governmental organizations or central government organizations or private organizations or international organizations, they are all coming under the published sources of the secondary data. Now unpublished sources. The statistical data can be obtained from several unpublished references. Some of the major unpublished sources from which secondary data can be gathered are as follows. The research works conducted by teachers, professors and professionals, the records that are maintained by private and business enterprises, statistics maintained by different departments and agencies of the central and the state government undertakings, corporations, etc. Now I would like to recon something about the unpublished resources. So most of the times we will be hearing some of the knowledge is available still on palm leaves or some other types of leaves which were being maintained in the grand olden days, means centuries back, and they may also be unpublished sources. Sometimes our grand old people or the earlier generation people used to tell us some information about that particular period of time, but there is no proof, but they themselves are saying that they have seen that or they have experienced that. That also will come under the unpublished sources of the data, that is secondary data. Apart from that, some other historical events might have been taken place at that particular point of time, and that may do not have a direct data provision from them, but there may be some historical evidences that may also come under the unpublished sources of the secondary data. Now the importance of secondary data. The secondary data can be less valid, but it is important, is still there. Sometimes it is difficult to obtain primary data. In these cases, getting information from secondary sources is easier and possible. Sometimes primary data does not exist. In such situation, one has to confine the research on secondary data. Sometimes primary data is present, but the respondents are not willing to reveal it. In such case, two secondary data can suffice. For example, if the research is on the psychology of transsexuals, first it is difficult to find out transsexuals, and second, they may not be willing to give information you want to your researcher. So you can collect the data from books or other published sources. A clear benefit of using secondary data is that much of the background work needed has already been carried out. For example, literature reviews, case studies might have been carried out, published texts and statistics could have been already used elsewhere, media promotion and personal contacts have also been utilized. This wealth of background work means that secondary data generally have a pre-established degree of validity and reliability, which need not be re-examined by the researcher who is reusing such data. Furthermore, secondary data can also be helpful in the research design of subsequent primary research and provide a baseline with which the collected primary data results can be compared to. Therefore, it is always wise to begin any research activity with a review of secondary data. That's why our teachers, our research guides, our research supervisors and great stalwarts in the academic arena, they used to advise us. Whenever we want to go to conduct a research on a particular thing, they advise us, first you go on literature survey. Then what is that? The first and foremost thing, even before the identification of the research problem and definition of the research problem, the first step of the research process is being started with the reference of the secondary data, thorough reference of the secondary data, going through the secondary data. That much of importance the secondary data is having in the research activity. Now, advantages of secondary data. No hassles of data collection. It is readily available. without any time consumption, without time consumption, without a single cost. Most of the time the data is at present available through World Wide Web websites. It is less expensive. The investigator is not personally responsible for the quality of data. The investigator may say, I have taken from such and such a journal, so I am not responsible for that. Like that, there is no personal responsibility as far as the quality of the and clarity of the data is concerned. The disadvantages of using secondary data: the data collected by the third party may not be a reliable party, so the reliability and accuracy of data may go down. Data collected in one location may not be suitable for the other on due variable environmental factors. With the passage of time and data becomes obsolete and very old. For example, today you are going to conduct a market survey on a soap, particular soap, or maybe Lux soap. So the data which is available for you, which is in 1980s or 1990s, the Lux soap market research might have been available on the internet on a journal. The same cannot be applied today because there is a lot of change in the marketing environment, even the product as well as the promotion of the activity also. So henceforth a complete change has been taken. The Lux soap is the same, but the time is after 30 years. Today is 2021 and the article was published in 1991. So after 30 years the data is worn out, that is become obsolete and very old, and those research findings may not be applied today. The secondary data collected can distort the results of the research. For using secondary data, a special care is required to amend or modify for use. The secondary data can also raise issues of authenticity and copyright. Sometimes we use unknowingly, but after some time somebody may raise an issue that you have used my data, my information, and you have not taken my permission. So the authenticity is a problem, the copyrights are a problem, or there may be a problem on the part of creating some legal matters and legal problems. Keeping in view the advantages and disadvantages of sources of data, requirement of the research study, and time factor, both sources of data, both primary and secondary data, have been selected. These are used in combination to give proper coverage to the topic. That's why we don't rely upon 100% on the secondary data. Some percentage weightage is given to secondary data, but most of the time we rely upon the primary data, right? So I wish you might have learned more of the things on the part of the secondary data, particularly the usage of secondary data, the sources of secondary data, the types of secondary data, the merits and demerits or advantages and disadvantages of the secondary data, and the significance of secondary data. I hope you might have followed it. I request you to go once again through this video as many times as possible, and till then I request all of you to stay safe and protected, and refer as much as possible of your past videos as well as this video also. Thank you very much all of you for your patient listening.